An ordinary budget in extraordinary times is how former Finance Minister Nazim Burke has labeled the 2021 budget presentation. Burke took the present administration to task to find out how they intend to outperform the last 5 years in terms of growth rate. Grenada currently has an estimate GDP of negative 12.6%.
So I don't share the view that 6.6% growth can be realized next year. It is not impossible, but I would suggest that it's highly unlikely.
Former Finance Minister Anthony Boatswain's response seemingly lent credence to why infrastructure got the biggest pie and why agriculture sits in ninth place.
As he rightly said, the response time in agriculture will not be as quick as, let us say, you put on a building. Agriculture will not, if you invest in agriculture now, do you not expect to get the kind of return immediately? And remember that agriculture contributes only 8% of your total GDP. Yeah, so it's not a large sector in terms of any increase will magnify in terms of the overall increase. So we have to take that into consideration.
Boatswain also adds that the uncertainty of tourism and SGU still remains a factor for growth in 2021.
If this 6% is to be achieved, then there must be an increase in the implementation rate that will bring it to about 70%. And I know that the government has taken steps in terms of removing some of the bottlenecks, the manpower constraints, the technical constraints in the ministry to help facilitate the implementation of projects.
Buck rebutted by noting the constraints of government lacking local counter-financing to draw on external funding.
Yes, Naz, I agree with you on that, but let us look at the figures. In terms of the financing of the PSIP, you're looking at grants, and that is mainly from the National Transformation Fund. That's not money we have to go abroad and look for. That money resides locally. You're talking about $172 million will be financed from that fund. That 56% of your PSIP funding will be from the National Transformation Fund, that's grants. And the remaining 43.7% will be concessionary loans and grants received externally.
Right,
and
which itself...
Sorry?
No, I'm saying which itself carries some risks, because although you have one source of financing, one source of financing accounting for 56% of the capital program, that source has two components. One component is the monies that are already there in the fund, and Correct. The other component are what you expect will be coming in next year. With COVID still a factor, and the uncertainties that you yourself have just mentioned, you really cannot say with certainty that those funds are going to be available.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.